Hey guys, welcome to my channel among.stouts. If you're new here, my name is Samantha and today I am going to be sharing a curriculum haul with you guys. I have this really big heavy box from Classical Conversations that just came in the other day. And like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I would share with you guys what curriculum I get as I get it, and then later on when I have everything I need, I will share curriculum picks for the next school year. And I plan to actually do those on time this year, so you won't be seeing curriculum picks towards the end of the school year next year. So let's go ahead and get started. The majority of the things that I picked up from the Classical Conversations bookstore was for my son going into Challenge B. But I did get a few things for my Foundations Essentials kiddos as well. So let's go ahead and get right into this box. And I'm just going to pull things out as they are in here. I'll try to match things up together if I can easily. But first and foremost, I have the Cycle 3 Uncovering the Design. These are science cards. These are anatomy, chemistry, and origins. So in Cycle 3 with CC for science, we were doing anatomy and physiology, chemistry, and origins is like life science. So I also have a haul coming from The Good and the Beautiful. I did pick up some of their science units to match along with CC, and I will share that with you guys whenever it gets here. The other thing that I have, I accidentally purchased 2 of these, so I haven't quite decided if I'm going to take one to the free bin at our community or maybe save one for next year, or save one for my daughter for when she's in Challenge B, in case my husband, in case my son loses these or somehow messes them up. But these are the Classical Acts and Facts Science cards seeking to know famous scientists. So like I mentioned in the Challenge A video, the beginning of the year is kind of like general science, where each week was a different science topic, and under that topic they could research about anything, and that's what they presented. And then the second half of the year they're doing anatomy. So next year I believe it's the first half of the year is they're going to be studying famous scientists and doing research papers on that, and then the second part of the year is chemistry. So those are these cards here. And then this is what I'm going to use for my Foundations and Essentials kiddos. This is the New World Echoes. I really like to get these books because they make it really easy for me to have a read aloud in my homeschool without having to buy a ton of extra books, which is what I did my first year in CC. I bought tons and tons of books, and then another mom told me about these Echoes books, and so ever since then I've been purchasing them. Our first year in CC was Cycle 3, so we are going to be going into our first repeat of a cycle. So I went ahead and got this one, and then I'll have all of the read aloud books that are put out by CC. So what do we have? Let's do some reading here since I have all of these books here. This time around, so for Challenge A, I didn't have to buy like half of the books because I already had them. They read a lot less books in Challenge B, and I only had one of the books, which this isn't a part of the haul since I already had it, but I want to show you guys anyways, is Where the Red Fern Grows. I already had that one, but we did purchase Little Britches, The Hiding Place, and The Phantom Toll Booth, which is the first book that they will do, and that's one that they're supposed to start reading over the summer. And then we have an easy to understand guide for defeating Darwinism by Opening Minds. And then we also have The Tanglewood Tale. So this one is actually for the next 2 are for my Challenge B kiddo, but I figured because we are studying American history this year for Cycle 3, that I can just read it to all of my kids maybe. So we have the Tanglewood Tales, like I mentioned, and then we have the American Experience storybook. So I think this would be really good to pair together for these, and I can read them to all of my kids, or if we don't make it to this, then my son's going to read it anyways. Okay, so for my 2 that are still in Foundations, my youngest is as well, but our first year in Cycle 3, I bought the placemats of the maps. But in cycle 1, I ended up buying these like folding ones. So for cycle 1 and cycle 2, I bought these. So I went ahead and just got 2 of them, since my daughter, this will be her last year in Foundations and Essentials, and then I'll only have 2 kids doing it, which will be my current 4-year-old and current 8-year-old. So after this year, I still only need the 2 maps. But these are the trivium tables for cycle 3 geography. So they have those. And then these are the discs to his logic course. But I also have the books in there. So the discs are on the top. I'll show you these first, and then I'll show you the books when I get to them. So the first one that they're going to start off with, and they do both of these in the year during this one school year. So I hear it's quite intimidating, which might be why they don't read as many books in Challenge B as they do A. But first is Introductory Logic, the Fundamentals of Thinking Well. And then there's Intermediate Logic, Mastering Propositional Arguments. So these are the discs that I believe are like the video course of teaching the book, but I do have the teacher guides. So next up here I have the Latin workspace. Like I mentioned to you guys, he will do the Latin workspace A again, which is what he did in Challenge A. But then they'll go through that much faster because they also have Latin workspace B that they do in Challenge B. And so here, one of the really cool things, and I hopefully will get a chance to see it this year because I did volunteer to be a juror, but I think I'm only going to be an alternate, so I plan to still show up and see the process. But in Challenge B, they do a mock trial, and so hopefully I get to see how that comes about, but if not, he's going to be doing it next year anyway. So this is his mock trial notebook. And then for my daughter, I have the IEW US history-based writing lessons. Like I always mention, I have a full review on this. Actually did it the first year that we were in CC, so we were on US history-based writing lessons, and I was doing it with my son. So I already have the teacher's guide, so I just purchased another student book. And then for my 2 oldest in Foundation still, so my 8-year-old and my 11-year-old, I got them handwriting from CC this year. So I went ahead and got these Cycle 3 prescripts, which is Cursive Sentences and Art Lessons, American History. This is my first time purchasing these. I kind of wish I'd been doing it all along because they have them for each cycle, but I just was always buying other handwriting. So now that especially my 11-year-old is pretty fluent with, I guess, cursive writing, and my 8-year-old is doing pretty well, they can do this, and it's written, they're written in cursive, and then they'll write it out in cursive. So this gives them an opportunity to actually know what, like, instead of writing from print to cursive, just doing cursive. And then here are the teacher guides for the logic. So these are some pretty thick books. This is the Introductory Logic book, and then I have the Intermediate Logic. And then here is the student handbooks, or here are the student handbooks. So there's Introductory Logic there, and then Intermediate Logic here. So that's all of the things for logic. And then I am really excited about this. If you are a CC family and you haven't picked this up yet, let me know if you want me to do like a quick little flip through and show you what's inside this. And it's really exciting. I've already looked through this. That's the only reason why I went into this box before filming this video, is because I was really excited to see this. But this is a new guide put out by Classical Conversations, and this is the Scribblers at Home recipes from lifelong learners. So veteran CC moms help put this together, and it's just tons and tons of ideas for how to implement the Classical Conversations program at home with different activities. So it takes you through the tools of the trivium. So the trivium are grammar, dialectic, and rhetoric. So for the grammar stage, which would be your foundations kiddos, it's naming, attending, memorizing, expressing, storytelling. And then the dialectic stage is definition, comparison, relationship, circumstance, testimony. And then rhetoric, memory, invention, arrangement, style, delivery. So 5 core habits of grammar, 5 common topics of dialectic, and then 5 canons of rhetoric. And that's all laid out for you right here. And so this is meant for your foundations kiddos from like 4 to 8, but they have ways in here where you can tailor it to be for all of your kiddos. So you can include your older kiddos too. But there is poetry in here. And then they have phonics, so grammar of poetry, grammar of phonics. There's grammar of literature, and then it goes into logic. So because your foundations kiddos are all in the grammar stage, these are all the grammar of. So then we have grammar of arithmetic, and then there's grammar of Latin. And then there's science and history and Bible. Within each one of those topics are different activities that you can do at home with your kiddos. So if you guys want to see a more in-depth flip through of these and all of everything that it entails, because from what I'm seeing of it, I'm really liking it and loving it. Can't wait to implement it with my kiddos. But if you want to see an in-depth flip through of this, let me know in the comments. I will get that up for you guys. I may consider doing it anyways. I'm not sure yet, but definitely if you guys are interested, so let me know. And then let's see, more logic stuff in here. We have the test and quiz packets for both intermediate and introductory logic. And then we have the words aptly spoken short stories. So one of the really cool things that they're doing in Challenge B is writing their own short story. And I think that comes in the second semester. I don't quite remember. I was just looking at the layout the other day, but I don't remember. I think it's second semester. But there's that. And then last but not least is Discovering Atomos, a grammatical introduction to atomic processes in chemistry. So there's that there, and I'll have to get him a notebook for that. So that is everything in this Classical Conversations haul. If you want to see the inside of anything that I have here, let me know, especially this Scribblers at Home program. I'm really super excited about this guide. And like I mentioned, I already have an IEW review. You guys can go and check that out. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit the like. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit subscribe. I would love to have you here as a part of my community, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!